What's going on, Reapers? This is Devontae. This is Reaper Training. This is the Reaper Motivation Podcast. And I want to welcome you guys into another segment of motivation, another episode about chasing our goals and being the best that we can be. And today, we're going to go into a little bit about relationships. As I said to y'all before, relationships is obviously a big part in everyone's life. Everybody's looking for love. Everybody need their little boo thing. And it's something that's going to be very instrumental in your goals and something that's going to be very prevalent in general in whatever it is that you're trying to do. And so we're going to talk about choosing a mate, right? And choosing someone to walk that journey with, to walk your life with, a power couple, so to speak. And there's a few things that goes into this. But we're going to look at this from the aspect of, I was in a conversation with somebody and I was talking to a dude, and he was another black man such as myself, and he said something that I found that was interesting. And I wanted to touch on the relationship aspect from this topic. And he basically was saying that he feels as though that a black woman would not stick around with a black man who is struggling. Right, that it's impossible for a black man who's coming up to find a black woman that is supportive of him. That's why black men should go out and date white women, which is probably, that statement has got a lot of people mad. It probably just pissed off a few people, but we're going to look at this from a less biased standpoint. Right now, I'm gonna start off by saying, before y'all think that I was siding with him, no, I don't agree with that statement. But we're gonna go into why that's a prevalent thought in a lot of black men. We're gonna also go into whether or not having a specific race is something that's even relevant in finding somebody who is gonna stick with you through your hard times. Because being ambitious means that you're gonna have to have certain building points. You're gonna have to start from scratch a lot of times, and it's going to be difficult. No one just pops out a billionaire unless they were born with some rich parents. So it is what it is on that part. So to start off with, I want to get into this whole stigma about black women. So I'm gonna say this right now, right? So let's be truthful. So a lot of us black men, if you grew up in an impoverished environment, or not even an impoverished environment, just in general, as just males in America, most of us have come up in single parent households. Now, that's not saying that the other parent wasn't involved, but for the most part, due to divorces and baby mamas and things like that, most of us grew up with just women in the household. So obviously, something that just is a natural effect, you're going to pick up on certain feminine traits from that woman. Black men especially, because a lot of us do not grow up in households with another prevalent black male, or a black male who is a good role model, so to speak. Right? So we're naturally going to take on feminine traits. We become emotional. One thing about black men is that a lot of us are very emotional. Is a reason why that dude at that party who just had on some new Timbs or something like that, and somebody stepped on him and he started shooting up the party, that's an emotional reaction. A logical person who's thinking in a more of a logical standpoint is not going to be like, oh, you stepped on my shits, bro, what's up with you? And just start banging out on the whole party. That's not a logical person. That's not somebody who's in a masculine, thoughtful, cool, calm, and collective state. That's a very emotional, and a very emotional equals very feminine. Again, most women are kind of all over the place with their emotions. If you talk to a lot of girls, sometimes they don't even know what they be mad about or what they're upset about. They just upset. And a lot of men are like that now, and that comes from growing up in these single parent households. So what does that have to do with black women? So vice versa, if the black women are also growing up in these households. However, because as a black woman, you have to be the mom and the dad, you tend to have to be a bit more masculine. So you have to be more alpha, more assertive, a bit more aggressive. It's how do you teach a man how do you teach a boy how to be a man when you're not one yourself? You got to toughen them up. You see a lot of black mothers when trying to bring up a man, they do shit that a dad would do. Punch him in their chest when they doing dumb shit. Talk to them a certain type of way, yell at them, be abrasive, because they need to instill that young man is respectful of that woman. And what ends up happening is, to start off with, you're gonna, when you go, if you're a female growing up in that household, you're going to take on those same traits. You're gonna be abrasive. You're gonna be a bit more masculine because the woman that you grew up with was just like that. You're gonna model what she did. Now, as a man, you're gonna take on them same feminine traits and be emotional. And when you put it like this, right? We talked about energy on the YouTube channel. There has to be an alpha, there has to be a beta. There cannot be one or the other. Somebody has to be the masculine energy, somebody has to be the feminine energy. Now, to the extent of which that is, whether it's like a 60-40 or a 70-30 or 80-20, somebody has to be the more dominating masculine energy in a relationship. Now, if the black woman, a lot of people want to talk about how black women are, aggressive and all this other stuff, which is not true. It's just more so of a misconstruction of being misconstrued, because most women nowadays are kind of masculine. They, the feminist movement and stuff like that. It's just that black women are being targeted as far as media wise because they always have been. That's just kind of how black people in general have always been painted out in the media a certain way. But going back to what I was talking about, if you're a black woman and you are more masculine, all women want to be feminine. It's in their nature. All men want to be masculine. It's in our nature. So if you're in a relationship and you're a man and you feel like you being bitched by your girlfriend all the time, who's a black woman, or you feel as though like when you're with her, you're less of a man, which is taken away from your confidence, which is taken away from your security, and which also makes you kind of like a bitch. A lot of dudes get in these relationships and they just get totally emotional, and the girl got them crying and punching shit and quitting their jobs and doing all types of crazy shit. That's because they're in their feminine, because that black woman is in her masculine, and that'll break a black man down. So a lot of times we avoid that because we don't have that confidence in ourselves, and we still have that feminine energy, and we want somebody who's not as much of a challenge. That's not going to make us be super masculine, just enough to where we can still feel like we're in charge, but, we don't really have to be like, oh, yeah, you're not going to talk to me the way you're going to talk to me. I can't just check you, right? I could just know that you're not going to talk to me crazy to begin with. So they go get them like a woman who grew up in a household where they were taught to be submissive. So they go for the white woman, or Indian or whatever the case may be, somebody from a different race, because most women from other races, if they grew up outside of America and they haven't been kind of influenced by this feminist kind of movement, they tend to be more submissive. And that's what a lot of black men are looking for, because again, you don't want to feel like a bitch in your relationship. Now, you may be a dude who's like, you cool with being a stay-at-home dad and all this other shit. All right, cool. To each his own. But naturally, by nature, you don't want to be a bitch. And by nature, no girl wants to be the man in a relationship. They don't want to feel like you going to jump behind them if somebody breaks into your house. No girl wants to feel like that. No woman wants to feel like that. So that's where that kind of disconnect comes in. Now, there's other aspects to it, but we're just looking from it from an energy standpoint. And what does this have to do with being somebody who's with their goals? So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, right? And this goes to talking about whether or not a black woman can stick with a man who's struggling. In order for you to come up, in order for you to be a reaper, in order for you to be ambitious, you have to be an alpha male. What is an alpha male? An alpha male is somebody who utilizes masculine energy. There's a reason why that's important. The reason why that's important is, for one, you need to be confident. Alpha males are extremely confident. How do you become confident? You have the ability to try different things and to not be afraid of failure. That's what makes you confident, because when you try something, you start to get good at it. That's what builds up that character. But if you're feminine and you're very emotional and every little thing kind of gets you disgruntled and moves you off center and all that other stuff, you're never going to become confident, and you're never going to take risk and take chances in your life. And that's what you need to be an alpha male, to be successful. So to be honest with you, let's keep it 100. No woman, I don't give a fuck whether she's black, white, blue, green, yellow, fucking, it doesn't matter. No woman wants a feminine ass emotional man, period. End of story. They may think they do. They may think they want a dude that's gonna cry and lay on their shoulder and tell them about their day and be no one wants no fucking emotional ass man. Because when they come and they going through their cycle, or they come in and they're mad and they don't know why, and they get the yelling or fussing or crying, they don't want a dude that's gonna be doing the same shit back to them. It's like, well, damn, I'm dating a bitch. I might as well be dating another girl. That's how they feel. So it's like, for y'all be looking at it from like, you just want a submissive woman. Listen, these black dudes go out there, they marry these white women, and they get divorces just like everybody else. Why? Because they're still acting like a bitch. So if you are a feminine man, if everything gets you upset, if you, as soon as the slightest, oh man, it's just, if anything just gets you upset any type of time, like all the time, and you're super feminine, no girl's gonna deal with that. After a while, the shit's gonna get old. Because even a submissive woman is not gonna want somebody who she feels like she has to fucking force to be masculine, forced to be dominant, forced to be an alpha male. No one wants to deal with that. So this stigma that a black woman is not gonna stick with you from struggling. Listen, no woman is if they think, because they already know if you're super emotional and feminine, if there's a chance for you to get a promotion at your job, right? And let's say your boss kind of overlooks you when you did something important, a feminine beta male who doesn't have a confidence in himself to do something is gonna be like, well, I'm not worried about it. I'll just wait my turn. The alpha male is gonna go talk to his boss like, yo, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm striving, I'm doing goals. What the fuck? Like, yo, you're gonna notice. If you're not gonna know what I'm gonna do, you're gonna at least acknowledge it. Because the person that you're trying to skip over for me is not doing what I'm doing. He's gonna speak up for himself. And these women know that. They all know that. So y'all can't just be sitting here expecting for these people to just fucking deal with you and your feminine energy. You can't expect for that. And that's any girl. So understand that it's not about being black. It's not about none of that. It's just about the energies of today's society being all mixed up. Again, if you guys talk to any OG black man in your family, right? Anybody who's grown up, if not with a father, but grew up with some people who are at the very least solid male figures, right? You notice that they're a bit more masculine than a lot of these dudes out here. They don't get the yelling and fussing at every little thing. They can sit back and analyze. They're cool, calm, collected. They think. They're not going to tolerate disrespect, but they not, every time somebody does one little thing, is yo, what the fuck? Yo, son, like, they're not doing all that. They're being cool. They're being calm. That was how it was back in the day, and that's why a lot of these relationships worked for as long as they worked. People talk about how their grandmas and their grandpas and shit like that were together for 40, 50 years. That's the reason why. Now, there's other aspects to it. This is a total different eras, totally different circumstances. But as far as mentality-wise and energies and who they are as people, that was a big part. So in the end of it, there's no real specific race that is truly fit for someone to be successful, right? So for my black men out there, I know we've all in some shape or form have been indoctrinized in the kind of just the misperception of black people, just like white people have. If you're like me, if I'm walking down the street and I see like 6 black dudes in some hoodies or some shit like that, it's like 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, shit, man, let me be on my guard just in case these niggas do something stupid. Let me be ready to get busy if I got to. That's not like, don't get me wrong, I've had experiences where that situation did go left, and I've seen situations where friends of mine were in that situation that went left, but it's not to the point to where that should be the first thing on my mind. That comes from watching TV and how they portray us. So the same way as you feel about black women being aggressive and all this other shit, a lot of that comes from TV. fucking Flavor of Love and all these other stuff. We grew up on watching these shows with black women wilding the fuck out. You don't think that plays a part in how you view them? You don't think that also plays a part in how they view you? Because black men, just the same, have been acting feminine as shit for the last 20 years. Motherfuckers wearing dresses and motherfuckers wearing pink shit and all types of stuff. Like, they're all slowly getting more and more feminine. Even the dances. I don't know if y'all remember the Nene when motherfuckers was poking their ass out and waving their hand in the air. We're all noticing it, and we're all being indoctrinized subconsciously by watching this stuff. So we're all building a predetermined type of view on everybody. It's just, it happens. It's normal. Well, not normal. It's not right, and it's not normal, but it's understandable why somebody would think that way. But that's not a reason to disqualify dating black women. It's not a reason to think that you gotta go out there and get a Asian girl or a white girl. This fucking weird ass save yourself black men movement, which is just, it's a whole bunch of emotional ass motherfuckers who just don't understand that no girl really wants anybody who's super feminine. Period. No dude wants a girl that's super masculine. I know dudes say that they don't want a girl who's too submissive because it's boring and all this other stuff. Okay, cool. I understand that. I don't really either. But at the same time, you don't want a girl that you're going to have to fuss with every 5 fucking seconds. Who the hell wants to do that? Who wants to be with somebody who's always fucking being annoying? Like, if you want that, I can tell that you're not a damn reaper, because you are way too feminine to want to invite that type of energy in, and to be a fucking alpha male on top of that. It's impossible. Because only other girls like being around all that fucking drama. Why do you think they like watching those type shows, the fucking reality shows like that? Because it's drama, it's entertaining, it's fun. They get, like I said before, women get bored easily. So if you're somebody who gets entertained by that dumb shit and you're a dude, you're very feminine. Just keeping it a buck with you. So there's no race that's set for, that's gonna make you more successful. At the end of the day, it's all about you being confident, you being an alpha. As I said before, when it comes to relationships, it's more about focusing on working on yourself to make a relationship work than it is about working on that other person. I feel like there's 2 aspects to making a relationship work. There's working on you, and there's working on a relationship as a whole, not on the other person. So if I'm insecure, if I don't have my shit together, and I am on top of that very feminine, how the fuck can I make a relationship work? How? Vice versa. If you look at the other way, you have to fix yourself. You need to focus on yourself. Now, I know people are going to hear this and they're going to go to, well, black girls don't like nerdy dudes, nerdy black dudes and all that other stuff. They want aggression. That's true to an extent in some aspects, but I'm going to be honest with you, dog. At the end of the day, people are going to be attracted to what they're attracted to, right? And not every black woman is the same. If you're a masculine man, even if you're a dude who speaks proper and you don't talk in slang and colloquialism and things like that, regardless of any way you look at it, every woman is gonna appreciate a masculine, motivated, and man. They're gonna appreciate that, especially if you take care of yourself and you dress well and things like that. So you're gonna find there's definitely black women out there who will cater to you being the way you are. They'll appreciate it and they'll like that. And some aren't. And it's the same for every race. There's some white women who love fucking bikers or some shit like that. Some, or meth dealers or whatever the fuck. There's Asian girls who probably like the Yakuza members. Like, there's always gonna be a lot of girls who like bad boys. Or not even bad boys from the standpoint of like they hoes, but the standpoint of like these motherfuckers out here actually catching bodies and shooting at niggas. Like, it's just a part of what it is. That's just always gonna be an aspect. Everybody has their preference. I personally don't like ratchet hoes no more. I used to think it was kind of fun to be around them, but that shit gets annoying at times. Shit, I'm only 22, and to be honest with you, I get aggravated as fuck being with somebody who's way too damn ratchet. I don't like arguing that much. Well, I don't like arguing at all, to be honest with you. So that shit is a headache. You got maybe, I probably deal with a ratchet joint for maybe a month before I'm like, you gotta get the fuck away from me. I can't stand you. It's just how it is. That's my preference. There's some dudes who love a ratchet hoe. Juicy J said it best, man. You say no to ratchet pussy, Juicy J can't. He probably loves girls who act just like that. It gets him excited. So everybody's different. So for you all to try to classify an entire race of women, because of a personal experience is silly. Now, vice versa, I don't think anybody should condemn a black man for going out and getting a white woman or Asian woman. Listen, you like who you like, man. Right? You build connections with who you build connections with. I haven't really spoken on it yet, but I talk about the percentages of people who are genuine and loyal people. I think it's only like 5%. To me, 95% of people you're going to meet are not going to be a genuine or loyal person. 95%. But if you find somebody who's in that 5%, and they cool, they get along with you, they like you for you, they're sweet, they're funny, they're intelligent, and you like them, how the hell am I gonna sit there and get mad at you because you chose them over somebody who looks like you? That doesn't make sense to me. It's like it's almost as if like people are saying fuck what you like and go with what you should, which that's never a good opportunity. As I told y'all before, when it comes to relationships, whether that be women, whether that be friends, whether that be family, whatever the case may be, your main priority should be making sure that they have a good energy around them and that they are helpful to you and your goals. If they got both of those and you get along with them, who the fuck am I to tell you that you shouldn't be dating them because of how they look? That's stupid. So, and yes, it is important. Listen, if you find somebody like that and they help you out with your goals, two is always better than one. Right? As you're chasing your goals, you're going to start to set up circles. You're going to start to get groups of friends. And if you got a solid woman next to you, your circle's going to be 100. Because let me tell you something. Dudes are very fucking envious. They're jealous as fuck. They act like bitches. So, and when they see you got some more money than them, they tend to be very disloyal. Women aren't like that to a certain extent. So if you got a solid woman next to you and she holding you down, she's going to be one of your, if not your greatest asset. You might have one or two dudes that are as good an asset as she is as far as just mental help and chasing your goals and having somebody who you cool with. There ain't gonna be a whole lot of them, so you need to really utilize that to your highest potential and to the full extent, because there's not very common out there. So I just want to touch on this a little bit. We're going to get into other relationship aspects. I thought that was an interesting conversation that I had with that dude, because it seems to be a very prevalent, like when I looked at that save yourself black man movement shit, I didn't know it was as big as it was. That shit is huge. There's a lot of dudes out there bandwagoning on the shit. And I think it's just a lot of dudes who are just kind of misinformed about kind of the environment that they're in right now. You know, we gotta realize that we all watch TV. Well, for the most part, a lot of us watch TV. All of us have phones. We're all on the internet, and propaganda is everywhere. And if you don't think that there's propaganda out there to poison your mind to think a certain way or act a certain way, then you're naive as fuck. So, this is Devontae's Reaper Training. I'm gonna get back to y'all, man. We're gonna definitely have some more content coming for y'all in the near future. Definitely go on the YouTube channel and subscribe to that. We got good content on there, including fitness. Definitely subscribe to this podcast. Content coming weekly. We're dropping all the time. This is going to be available also on YouTube if you want to go on YouTube and watch it on there. I appreciate your time. Y'all be easy. We don't chase dreams, we hunt goals.